The door to the last room on the left opened by itself the moment I reached the end of the hallway. Its cold air poured out and carried the smell of old blood and wet soil. From inside the darkness, something whispered my name slowly and clearly. I worked as a caretaker at a closed roadside motel that was scheduled for demolition. The place sat far from the highway, surrounded by trees that blocked moonlight and sound. Most rooms were empty shells filled with broken furniture and dust. Only one rule existed for night staff: never enter the last room on the left. I laughed when I heard it. Old buildings always collect stories. Still, the rule followed me like a shadow. Every hallway ended with that door, room 16. Its paint was darker than the others. The air around it felt colder, even in summer. On my first week, I heard noises at night, soft tapping, slow dragging, something moving behind walls that should have been hollow. Each sound led back to room 16. Always that door, always waiting. On the 7th night, the radio died at midnight. Lights flickered once, then steadied. The hallway stretched longer than before, as if the walls had shifted. I walked toward room 16 without meaning to. The door was open. Inside the room, the temperature dropped sharply. My breath turned white. The walls were covered in deep scratches, like claws had torn through wood. The bed was missing. In its place stood a stain on the floor, shaped like a human body. The door slammed shut behind me. The whisper returned. Closer now. You finally came. The lights went out. In the darkness, I heard breathing all around me, slow and wet. Something brushed my arm and left my skin burning cold. When the lights flickered back on, I saw figures standing against the walls. They were people, or they had been. Their bodies were twisted, necks bent backward, arms broken, faces frozen in terror. Blood leaked from their mouths and pooled at their feet. None of them blinked. One stepped forward. A woman with long hair matted with blood. Her jaw hung loose. She pointed at the stain on the floor. That was my place. The walls began to bleed. Crimson lines ran downward and soaked into the carpet. The floorboards creaked and bent. I smelled rot and soil, as if the ground beneath the motel had opened. Then the snakes came. Black and red bodies poured from cracks in the walls and vents. Thick coils twisted together, forming living knots. They wrapped around chair legs and climbed the walls. Their hissing filled the room like chanting. One snake rose higher than the rest. Its body was massive, but its face was wrong. It had a pale human face stretched over its skull, its eyes sunken and glowing faintly. Its mouth opened too wide, and blood spilled down its chin. The room must be fed. The ghosts moved closer. Their hands reached out and passed through my skin like ice. Each touch drained warmth and strength. I fell to my knees as snakes wrapped around my legs, tightening slowly. I begged to leave. The snake with the human face tilted its head. You entered. You stay. The stain on the floor began to move. It rose upward, forming a shape, K. A body made of shadow and blood pulled itself free. I saw my own face staring back at me, screaming silently. The room showed me everything. Every person who ignored the warning, every scream absorbed by the walls. The room did not kill, it kept. The snakes lifted me. Coils crushed my chest. Air left my lungs in sharp bursts. The ghosts pressed close, whispering in broken voices. Take his place. The human-faced snake leaned close. Its blood dripped onto my face. The door opened again. Morning light flooded the room. I lay alone on the floor. No blood, no ghosts, no snakes. Just dust and silence. I ran. I quit the job that same day and left town. Weeks passed. Nightmares followed. Hallways that never ended. Doors that opened by themselves. A voice calling me back. One night, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. I heard footsteps, a door opening, then a whisper. The last room on the left is empty. I dropped the phone. Tis, somewhere, a door opened. If you enjoyed the story, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.